Good morning, guys. Today is the 26th of October, 2017. It's a Thursday morning. Market's getting ready to open here. I'll be back. Okay, market is open. Let's see what she wants to do here. Okay, I got in with a short right here. Got a very late entry. Once again, want it to go very slowly towards target. Target's, oh, hang on, let me figure out where target's at. Okay, target's down here, 3 nuggets. I want it to approach target slowly. It's got a better chance of hitting target if it approaches it slowly. If we have quick movements down, that's just leaving it open for quick movements up. So we prefer to just kind of meander down. Pop back up, great place to get in for the first time or add on. I'm choosing not to add on, I'm just going to stay with what I have. Be a great place to get in for a short. Hey, things are looking good, about halfway to target. Slow and steady wins the race. See, when it pushes down that fast, that hard, you just need to hope that it hits target because it's very likely to turn around and come back up at you. See, right, that makes me nervous right here. Okay, right now I'm concentrating on the velocity here, the speed of the BBs. I'm not looking at price bars so much, but I'm looking at the value of the BBs distance from one another. It's telling me that it's still going at the same speed for the most part. Nothing really concerning yet. Okay, everybody's just minding their own business, going at their normal pace. No slowdowns, no signs of danger yet. If you're staring at the price, could freak out a little bit. If you stare at the BBs, they're giving you peace and tranquility. Nothing really wrong with this picture. Price popped up. BBs are strong and steady. Everybody's picking up pace here. 440 picked up the speed, velocity. Target's filled. Got my 3 nuggets for the morning. And I'm going to be happy with that. Going to call it a weekend here. And see you guys next time I see you. Have a great weekend, guys. Bye-bye. Okay, just got back with a fresh mug of coffee and noticed that there was a good teaching example here, looking at what we've got going on right here, right now. So I'm going to use this as an opportunity to kind of explain the MacdBBs here. If you notice here on the, not so much the 233, but on the 440, we are developing some separation. The BBs are pulling away from the white band. That's a sign of weakness. Okay? As we're looking over here at the 4181, he's on the rail, very powerful to the upside. So that's telling me as this move is coming down with weakness, it has the power to jettison across the river. The 4181 says, I will help you. So what are we expecting to happen? A pop to the upside. As it's going down, we're anticipating a pop to the upside. Where would we enter the trade? Well, let's look at our 144. Okay, if I'm looking for an entry, I'm waiting for this yellow dot to curl to the upside. If he never curls, I'm not entering the trade. A lot of separation on the 440. He's got the potential. Yellow dot curls, I'm in the trade. Watching the tick counter. Don't get in too early. You might have egg on your face. It needs to physically print, so you need to time it just right. If you get in too early, he could be popped up, but he could still have the opportunity to push back down and print down. Okay, nothing yet. BB slowed down a little bit, but never really committed to the turn. So right now we got 94 ticks left, waiting for it to run out of time. Curl up, run out of time, and print, and I'll get into the trade. Noticing a slowdown? What are we expecting to happen next? Curl. So convince me you're curling. Slowing down. Before they turn, they usually slow down. Okay, an aggressive entry would be right here with 129 ticks left. A conservative trade would be plotting and printing, pointing up. So he hasn't done that yet. 122 ticks left. Okay, just negated that anticipated curl. So getting in too aggressively could have given you a stop loss activation. Okay. Here he is curling up again. One tick left. Hasn't convinced me he's pointing up. Hasn't convinced me that he's going to print up. Okay, looking a little better here. 127 ticks left till the next bar or the next BB. I want to make sure he's printing up, so I need to time it. If you get in too early, he could literally just point straight down and put egg on your face. You don't want that to happen. So a conservative entry would be waiting for the tick counter to count down, and he's convinced you that he's curling. He hasn't done that yet, so I'm not thinking about entry. I'm thinking, but I'm not committing to the trade. Watching it, watching it. It's got separation once again, which is a good sign. Does it need separation on the 144 to be a viable picture? It helps, but it's not necessary. The only thing we're looking for is a curling yellow dot, and then printing. Okay, he's at it again. Okay, counting down. He's at 31 ticks. Right. Watching him closely. Convince me you're going to print up. 16, 15, 14. Hasn't convinced me he's pointing up yet. Halfway there. Okay, now he's pointing down again. So that negates that particular BB. Sorry, you didn't qualify. Maybe the next one. So all we're doing is waiting for a perfect picture, trying to eliminate the negativity of entering a trade prematurely. Okay, right now I'm watching the S&P 500, the Dow, and NASDAQ, and they're pushing up. So I'm expecting this BB to print right now. So 72 ticks left. Could he get all the way back down here in 72 ticks? Absolutely. but I'm pretty convinced that he's going to print in the upward direction. So 80 or 56 ticks left. I'm just going to play it by the book here. And right before he gets to the next BB, I'm going to enter the trade if he's still pointing up. And it's all relative to the speed of the market. The market's not moving very quickly right now. So 47. 44, 43, click. Okay, we're at 25, 26. Click. So let's say that I got into the trade and got in right there. Okay, where am I expecting it to go to? Not very far, because this 2584 says, yeah, I'm not going to let you go too far, because I need to release my pressure, and that's to the downside. So where are we expecting it to go? Well, we're looking for 3 nuggets, right? So we got in here. Where's 3 nuggets? That's 3.5 or 6. So 3 nuggets is right there. This is target. Okay, so what do we want to see? Firstly, we want to see the 233 push up right behind the 144, and now we're waiting for this power, this separation, to push it across the river. Does it need to go all the way? Sometimes, because 3 points could be gathered before you actually get to the other side. But he's got the power to do that. Okay, looking at the picture here, this 2584 that had the separation, he's gotten tighter to the rail, which means now, rather than having pressure needing to be released to the downside, he actually became stronger to the upside. 4181 is still tight to the rail. So there's more power up than there is power down. Okay, where would our stop loss be? Well, our stop loss would be 1 tick behind the pivot here. Unfortunately, we had a quick bar, which constitutes for a very late entry, which makes the stop loss larger. An aggressive trade could have gotten us in a little bit earlier, but aggressive trades have a tendency to backfire on you. So we're trying to take as conservative of a trade as we possibly can. Sometimes you will see that the 144 will actually curl and still not have a sudden burst or a sudden movement in the direction you're intending to take the trade on. So right here, we're about 3/4 of the way to target. Maybe half, a little more than half. Looking at the distance between the BBs here, everything is normal. To stretch this guy, and I'm not stretching him to make his separation larger. I'm just gauging the velocity. From there to there, he actually increased speed from there to there. So right here, I'm focusing on just these guys. Price is coming down. These guys aren't freaking out. They're still pointing up, still pointing up. Velocity is the same. A little slow down here, not much, but not as threatening as if you were looking at the BBs, or at the price bars. Experiencing a pushback up after a pullback, and just to relate that area. Okay, what happened on the BBs here? BBs had a slowdown. Nothing really much here on the 440. But the price came down drastically, which would have freaked you out. The BB says, don't worry about it. Nothing really too concerning. Yes, I'm having a slowdown here, but nothing that concerning where you should flip out. And our stop loss is still back here, so never even got close to being taken out. As this guy came down, these BBs are saying, I see it, but it has no bearing on where we're headed to. This pressure needs to be released here. almost hit target. Noticing the velocity right here? Everybody's doing the same speed. 233 is doing what he's done before. And all you need is the last BB to look at, the velocity. So from there to there, he's exceeded that. So he's actually going faster, which is telling me I'm expecting him to hit target. If he was slowing down right here, I would say, he might not be reaching target, but I don't see that. They're very stretched apart, these two BBs, telling me the velocity is gaining. 44. If he's good enough to enter a trade, he's good enough to exit a trade, right? So right here, noticing that, there is a little bit of a slowdown, but they're not bunching up on top of each other. Okay, so here he's actually increasing in speed, velocity. Got no reason to believe he's not going to hit target. So let's say you're in with two contracts. Get out with half right here, go to break even, +1, and ride the other one for the first sign of danger. So we exited here with 1 and waiting for the indicators to tell us when to get out with the other one. Okay, right here noticing a slowdown on the 144. He hasn't yet committed to the turn down. Okay, 233 is about halfway from his previous distance. Okay, still in the trade, hasn't committed to the turn down. Still pointing up. Pushing up, pushing up, pushing up. At some point, almost at 5 points. Watching the 144. Don't forget, if this 144 does curl, you're going to give something back. Okay, by the time he commits to curling down, you will give something back. So you kind of need to think about, okay, I'm at 5 points, and if he curls right now, I'll probably get out with 4.5 points, or maybe even 4 points if it's a quick turn. So right here, okay, bam, I'm out of the trade. So let's say we got out right here, because the 144 printed down. So got 3 nuggets out of that one, and out of this one here we got 4.2. Okay, I'm done. And there's a good feeling. Got out of the trade and the market starts to tank. All we were doing is reading the BBs, and the rest just happened. We were in a trade and we saw danger, and we took it for everything we possibly could, with positive reinforcement backing us up. And as soon as we saw signs of weakness, we took the initiative and exited the trade, and the rest happened on its own. It just told us it was getting weak to the upside, and if you're thinking about exiting, now's the time. And all we're doing is doing what the BBs are telling us to do, and that's the beauty of this. But anyway, I thought I'd just kind of go into a little bit more detail of how the BBs interact with one another. So this is kind of a simple version of what we do, but it's very powerful. It doesn't take a lot of initiative to just look at how far the BBs are apart from one another and how far the BBs are away from the white band. It's pretty simple, actually. So it's enough to get somebody consistent to a certain level if you see these pictures. I mean, these aren't the only pressures we take, but it's one of our favorites, and it's one of the most powerful, and why not take advantage of it? So I hope you guys can put this to use and improve your trading a little bit. Have a great weekend, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.